Yo, it's your boy Sleezy Bands. You're watching a 416 interview.
So when did you first start creating music?
Like fourth grade, fifth grade, I used to fuck around, like just with my bros and shit. And we used to just be making like diss tracks on each other, like with our teachers and shit. We used to be on like Xbox Live, just fucking just like freestyling. And then eventually, like we just continued to do that. And then one day it was just one of those where it was like, yo, what if we actually like took the chance and recorded this shit in the studio. And then one day I actually like recorded a track in the studio, and I was fucking with it. Like I was like, yo, I might be able to drop this. And that was like the first track I dropped under Sleazy Bands, which was in like the eighth grade.
All right. What made you start creating music?
I have a couple like family members and like family friends, cousins that like are heavy in music. I have a uncle who's actually a producer, and then I actually have a family friend who has a track with Sleepy Hollow and Chef G. His name's Fresh G, Free Fresh.
Damn, really?
He's currently locked up. Yeah, he got locked up in the video of the track he has with Sleepy and them. So like just seeing all this shit. Like I have another cousin. His name is Space. He makes music out in Jersey. Like just seeing all this shit around me. Like it influenced me in a way. And it's also like I always grew up knowing I wanted to be like a content creator in a way because I had like YouTube channels. I made like vlog content, whatever, when I was younger. But it was I never really like used my voice to make a piece of work. So when I eventually found out about rapping and like songwriting and shit, I tried to dabble in a little bit more of that, and then everything works out.
You said you used to have a YouTube channel. What were you posting on the YouTube channel? Kind of content we talking?
I low-key started with like vlogs and like skits and shit, and then eventually I had just moved to like just like memes or like like just some like funny like more funny type of content. I actually had a video that had like 150K views. It's literally privated on my current like Sleazy Bands account, and it was called like screaming like XXX Tentacion lyrics like at the top of my lungs or whatever. And like that video went crazy. I had like 150K views. I was like, oh, what the fuck? I could low key do some content creation. But at the time, I was like fifth grade, sixth grade, so it was like I wasn't really too. I didn't really know how to maneuver around like social media and shit back then. So now that I know what I'm doing with it, like low key YouTube and content creating back then helps me elevate to like where I am right now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I bet. And then let's talk about your artist name. What's like the story behind Sleazy Bands?
Where I'm from, like sleazy just means like a go getter or like a hustler. You know what I mean? Like if I were to do any sort of action that makes me hustle or like go out my way to do something and I'm really determined about it, that's like moving sleazy. That's like being a sleaze, you know what I mean? So I kind of just put it all together. Like I'm working hard for money, you know what I mean? It's like another way of saying like I'm a hard worker, I'm a hustler, you know what I mean? Sleazy bands. So yeah, and also my cousin used to call me a sleaze, like because like I said, where I'm from, that's like the definition of like a go getter or like a hustler. So he used to call me out all the time because he used to see me doing what I'm doing. And then eventually he got locked up. I started rapping around the same time, and then I put two and two together. I had to do it for him.
And then recently I found out that you are originally from New Jersey, and then you moved out here to the GTA. What was behind the move, if you don't mind talking about it?
Yeah, no, like just when I was out there, it wasn't really a good environment for me and my family, and obviously I didn't have much control over that because like I wasn't the one paying the bills, I wasn't the one like buying houses, whatever. But when my when my mom and dad made the choice to move out here, it was mainly just for a better environment, a better life for me. But out here, it's better. It's definitely better for sure. It's definitely better, like 100%. But it's like there's not much of a difference in the environment in terms of people, because people are equally as like grimy and weird out here as it is over there, bro. So it's like not much of a difference. But that was mainly the story behind it, just to get away from all that negative shit.
Talk to me about like living now in Canada, bro, compared to like Jersey and stuff. What are like the main differences between the environments, and or is there any?
So low key, I also don't want to make it seem like I've been like Jersey like straight my whole life. Like I've been like here a pretty good time. Like around grade 5, grade 4 was when I completely like settled in here. So I have a good like understanding. But as for those times to like high school, like for example, when I first like touched high school, it was fucking crazy because it's like I'm looking at everybody like I'm getting used to these classes. Like I'm going from elementary school to high school, so it's like the freedom is way different. So you get to actually see how everybody acts as an individual. So it's like I'm going to school and I'm seeing people doing these things I've never seen before, but then I'm also seeing aspects from Jersey, like people selling dope, you know what I mean? Like robbing, doing all this sort of shit. So I'm like, okay, there's an aspect of Jersey over here, but it's not as dangerous or risky as like environmental wise. So in that way, it's like I don't know. I'm kind of glad I got over here in a sense. You know what I mean?
What's your creative process like when creating a song?
Low key, as of right now, I'm very tuned in with like a storyline or like I like structuring my music a lot as of recently. Like back when I first started, or like even when I was just like even like last year times, like I wouldn't really focus on the structure of the song too much. I would really just focus on it sounding good or the lyrics having a specific like like a specific bar that would just grab someone's attention. But now I try and use like a variety of bars that will grab people's attention throughout the whole song. Like you know what I mean? I try and focus heavy on that. But as of right now, I'm heavy on the pain and like drill type of sound for sure. So I try and indulge in a lot of like melodic, like Lil Durk type of beats. Fucking, I'm fucking with the Jersey club type of flow right now as well. So that's another thing I definitely I'm tapped into right now. But as for creative process, it's definitely like more structured type of songs nowadays for sure.
Okay, I was gonna ask you, since you said like most of your songs, especially when it comes to lyrics, you got like a storyline type thing going. Have you ever taken like influence from like King Von, who was like notorious for his like story that he was like talking about in his songs and shit?
Yo, low key, like growing up, like listening to Vaughn, basically growing up listening to Vaughn, like all the crazy stories and shit. I could say like storytelling wise for the new coming generation of rappers, King Von's a big influence because you know what I mean. He really showed everybody how to tell a story, and that story could resonate with everybody my age or like this generation because it's like they understand how that goes with the way he was telling the story, him going to rob somebody because everybody's doing that type of shit nowadays, or they know somebody doing that type of shit nowadays. You know what I mean? So it's like it's understandable in that term.
So then listening to your music, I've listened to a couple songs. Yo, you definitely have like this New York drill type kind of like influence to your music. So I wanted to ask you, you listen to anyone from out there? Um, take any inspiration from anyone out there?
Yeah, like I said, like growing up in Jersey, it's like I'm I'm always gonna be around that type of sound. So growing up, I had listened to heavy like Chef G, Sleepy Hollow, Busy Banks, like the early wave of drill, like New York drill for sure. Like Busy Banks, Pop Smoke, of course, along with Pop Smoke. Who else do I have on there?
You listen to like any of the Bronx? So like K Flock, D Thing, those guys?
Yeah. Like even as for like the recent years, I've been heavy tapped into like the Bronx for sure, Harlem, like the Sweepers. I definitely want to have a track with S. Go or J Hound, any of them. They are tough right now. I fuck with them. Uh, K Flock, like the whole of DOA, I fuck with all of them when they were doing going crazy last year. Um, RPT, like D Thang, all of them. I'm honestly drill. As for the recent times, has just been like my whole playlist. You know what I mean? So that's mainly the only thing I've been listening to. So as for inspiration, that's my main like factor for sure because that's where I get my flow from, my energy, my aggression, all that type of shit. You know what I mean?
Since you're out here now, bro, in the GTA, what's like your opinion on like the Toronto music scene or even the Brampton? Like it's just this GTA area.
As for the Brampton area, there's honestly not a lot of like people that I could see that are really putting on right now. but there is a lot of potential and there's a lot of talent in the city that I personally know. Like there's people I work with that are constantly, they have that drive, they have the sound, the talent, all of that. But it's just the platform because the way it is out here, there's no like support, there's no love. That's one thing I've noticed for sure. Like people are very like hesitant to show love, and it's like, yo, this shit is free. Like all you have to do is repost, show, you know what I mean? Like comment on a post. Like it's not that hard, you know what I mean? So that's one thing like that I've noticed for sure about the music scene out here. It's very there's no support, bro. So it's hard to make a way for yourself. But as for the sound, I'm very tapped into the melodic scene, like Bushman, fucking who else is out here? My boy Rando. You guys are gonna hear about him soon if you haven't already for sure. That guy is he's nice with it. My boy Rando, my dog MJ, G baby MJ. You guys are gonna hear about all these people I'm naming. I guarantee you're gonna hear about these people. MJ, Cash Kid, my boy Cash Kid. Everybody that I just listed, they're putting on for the city right now. As for what I know, but it's definitely like talent out here, bro. It's just there's no love, so it's like nobody can really strive like that. But I see potential for sure.
Any advice for new artists you got?
Anybody that wants to start music right now, like you gotta really like want this shit to do this shit. You know what I mean? Like I see a lot of people nowadays that really just rap for like a way. The reason I rap is to show the coming generation that you could really do whatever you want to do. Like it sounds cliche, everybody be saying the same shit, but it's like if you genuinely listen to my music and then look at the person I am, like I'm not trying to be on some douchebag or no cocky shit. It's like, yo, I'm 16 and I'm out here, like I'm trying to work my hardest. I'm trying to put it out there that I'm working my hardest. And the reason I'm doing that is to show the coming generation, because I feel like informing them is the most important thing, because they're literally the people that are going to run the world next. You know what I mean? So what I really have to say to them, and the main message I have to say to them is just, if you really want this shit, put your mind to it and work. Like there's no other recipe. There's no other formula. Like you just have to work. Like you can't beat around the bush. There's no shortcuts. You have to be determined, and it'll come to you eventually, bro. Like I mean that. I'm not even there myself yet. Like, you know what I mean? But if I continue with mindset, I guarantee you I'm gonna get there. And anybody with that mindset will get there, bro. So
What new projects you got coming out? What do you got going on?
as of right now, I'm waiting on a music video to drop. So within the next month or month and a half, me and my bro JB are gonna drop Slime Flow on 6ixbuzz premieres. So everybody stay tuned for that. As for projects and EPs, I have a big name feature coming soon. Honestly, I'm gonna announce it here. It's not confirmed yet, but I'm gonna get my boy Northside Benji on my next EP. And as for like other EPs and projects, me and my boy NK2TZ, we have a duo EP coming out soon. So everybody stay tuned for that this year. I can't put a date on it yet, but that's definitely something coming up. You guys should be ready for it for sure.
I hit the bros, I'm making profit, trying to make this profit. When I was down, nobody came around, they wasn't helping me. I hope to God one day that I don't see the